Periket v'hine. Tshuva law, we're talking about a higher tshuva, in addition to the lower tshuva. And the higher tshuva is not about going away from evil, but bringing Hashem's light into your life. There's dapkus rucha barucha, through attachedness of your spirit with the Eibishter spirit. Through learning Teda and tzedakah, but tzedakah which is infused with the light of Yechudi law as opposed to ordinary mitzvahs. That brings on Hashem's light from the top down. The words of Hashem and the godliness of Hashem and the experience of the godliness of Hashem, mamish, bepiv in a person's words and mouth. As the pasuk says, "I'll place my words in your mouth," that the person's mouth will speak the words of Hashem. Our right hand hugs Hashem begamach through giving tzedakah. The chesed chesed is the right arm of Hashem, and so forth. Doctor, when we do tshuva practically, however, you have to go through 2 steps. We talked about tshuva tato and tshuva law. We talked about how tshuva law is a hemshah tato. We talked about how tzaddikim's tshuva law is not as sophisticated, not as deep. It's forget, maybe more sophisticated. It's not as powerful as the tshuva law of tzaddik. About tshuva's tshuva law affects bittul. The tzaddik's tshuva law, since he's fundamentally reasonable, only lifts him up to a higher level, right? But we cannot go to tshuva law without the tshuva tato. Allah the matach, the lower man, says the Alter Rebbe, tzarech leilech mi madrege la madrege mi mata l'mayla. You have to go from step to step, from lower to higher. That he bechinas tshuva law, in order to have, which is the level of tshuva law, which would be the higher level. He's dabkes rucha barucha, and attach this of our spirit with the spirit of Hashem, b'kavonos, with the intention of the heart. But tefillah and davening, and b'frat b'kishma b'chesed, and especially when we say Shema and the brachas. Kedei, so that we should be able to say v'hafta v'geimer, we should love Hashem b'chol avavcha b'chol nafshecha v'geimer. We should love Hashem with our whole heart, which means we should experience Hashem in our lives. Or b'chol nafshecha, the Alter Rebbe explained in the previous page that the love in our heart should spill over, that in every part of our Yiddishkeit there should be a feeling of the emes of the Eibishter, and there should be the emes lamit. V'chein, also it says in Kishma, that v'hoyi v'advarim ha'ela v'geimer, that the Torah that we learn, whenever we speak about the that a Yid should experience Hashem in his Torah, which is a very high madreg of limud Torah, which is called Tan L'Sheni Rasecha. That when you learn Torah, the light comes from the Eibishter. The light of Hashem fills the person's brain, and it's as if he's simply repeating after the Eibishter's words. There's no truth without the Torah. V'cheim, as well as that L'Kayim Kol HaMitzvahs, do all the mitzvahs with this inspiration. When she calls it says in Siddur, and it's mentioned by Riches and Tanya Perek Memvav, that a Jew is made holy to the mitzvah that the Eibishter gives him, and he should experience this holiness. Just like when a man betroths his wife, he says to her, "You are holy to me." So the first pasha to pshata is you're separate from the rest of the world. The dika pshata is that you will experience my holiness. This is the holiness that Hashem gives us from above. So when a Yid davens and he says Kirishma, b'chol nafshecha, and then the Torah, that it's not only that he's separated from the world, that it's Loshen, Perishus, Vahavdalah, he's separated from the world, right? The God is separate from the world. But at the same time, this Yid, when a Yid does mitzvahs, he's separated from the world. He also experiences the holiness of Elokus. Which level of Elokus? She'eni Yochel is lavish to take Omen, it can't reveal itself in the world. Mishum Dekulak make Allah Hashiv, the light of Hashem is, of course, the whole world is nothing compared to it. El B'chin is save of Kalam, and it's simply hidden from the world. This is the infinite will of Hashem. We speak about Shekeh Deshanu. When a Yid davens and learns, he brings into himself the light of Yechudei Allah. And also after davening, a person says, a person naturally lifts up his soul to the Eibishter. The Hainu, which means to connect his spirit with the spirit of the Eibishter in a conscious way. All day long, and so forth. But v'kol zeh hu, v'kol zeh, oh, this is how they is bonus, we do saying say Baruch Hu. It's by thinking about the greatness of the Eibishter, b'malchus hadas, by delving deeply, b'shtayim lefoneh, and the 2 brachas before Krishma, or b'sikah de Zimra, and the passages of songs before brachas Krishma Kanei does it as no. Now the Rebbe is saying that in our lives, there are steps to Yechudei Allah. One of the steps to Yechudei Allah is tefillah. When you daven, and you say b'chol nafshecha, and then you say v'hayu advarim, you want to experience Hashem in your life. And then afterwards you're going to learn Torah, it's going to be even higher madreg. So the Alter Rebbe that you have to have steps. Steps means first davening and then learning. And tomorrow's Shir, the Alter Rebbe says that just like you have to have steps, first davening and then learning, you also have steps. First Yechudei Tata and then Yechudei Allah.